Takes a whole lot of people to keep a Broadway show running, from the stars on stage to the orchestra in the pit and all the people behind the scenes whose names you don't always see in the playbill. Our man Perry is on the town.
Thanks, Tamsin. As they say, props is tops, and Eric Stewart agrees. I'm headed inside the Winter Garden Theater before a performance of Back to the Future to talk to their head of props. So now we are here on the stage of the Winter Garden Theater with the head of props, Eric Stewart. Eric, thank you so much for the time today. I know you're very busy. We got to get going soon.
Yeah, let's do it. We want to show you guys around on what we do for preset for the show.
What exactly does, head of props entail for your workday?
So today on Wednesdays, we do a maintenance call in the morning before the matinee. So the whole crew was in at 8 a.m. today, really just doing general maintenance and upkeep. We had a big project on one of the docks lab units today. For the props department, we worked on some of our 50s benches as they're testing the sound system. We worked on some of our white benches. We worked on our cafeteria tables. Gosh, we did all kinds of little things, putting some hooks up, covering some sinks. We did all kinds of things today.
So it's not just, the show's done, like running and go. There is maintenance and then continued
all
work
kinds
every
of
single
maintenance.
day.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I know we can hear it happening right now. We're getting ready for showtime. Do you mind if I join you on your walk around?
So first thing we'll do, we'll head this way. So we have a lot of small hand props and not a lot of room, especially on stage left. So we have to get creative. So this vestibule is an active doorway.
Come on in.
Come on through. Come on, Andrew. This is Anthony. He's our electrician for the show. So we have all of our smaller hand props here. Drop bin of small props that we go through that need to track over to stage right. This is some set dressing for the diner. So we will take a couple of things with us and track to the other side of stage that they need over there for our preset. So now we're going back over stage right.
So with the show set in two such distinct time periods, but also, based on a movie that is known and loved, how hard is it to replace or edit things to make them match both the time period and, the source material?
Well, we're doing a lot of shopping on eBay.
Really?
Yeah, for a lot of our 50s and 80s props. This is a vintage 80s camcorder that we've had to repair a few times, which unfortunately has taken a couple falls backstage.
Oh, geez.
In finding replacement of this has been a challenge. We found one in the UK that was shipped over that got held in customs.
Oh, no.
That is now lost to customs. So we're in the process of trying to find another one.
Any of the more specific props, like Marty's guitar, like the box of plutonium, what happens when one of those goes down? Those are very specific and have to be,
They are.
identically
We check
replaced.
them. We check them every day. The plutonium, especially, we check that every day just to make sure that it does light up the way it's supposed to light up. We actually worked on that today to check that out. We have backups and spares that we can swap in. Should the primary one that we're using goes down, we can put in the backup. And it's just a constant rotation of making sure that things are working properly. And sometimes we just cross our fingers and hope things work.
So how did you get into props? When did you decide? And did you did you go to school and say, hey, I know I want to be a prop master on Broadway? How did you get into this?
I started like a lot of people that work in the theater world. I studied performance because that was the only avenue that I had in college. I went to a small community college in Tennessee where I'm from, and then transferred to Clemson University. At Clemson, they had a program where you could work for hours.
Oh, wow.
Backstage, and so I started doing that for hours, and once you finished a certain number of hours, then you could work for a minimum wage. And so the more I did that, the more I liked it, and the further away from performance I got. And then I realized that it doesn't matter what I look like or what I sound like to do this part of the job, so it was much easier for me to do this. There's a saying that they props is tops. Props is great. You get to do a lot of really big, fun things like handle the car and furniture and things like that, but also do little fun, small detail stuff like all of the smaller props. So it's a little bit of everything. So it's all, and you get to interact more with the actors and do really fun things. So I like props a lot. So I'm going to stick with props for a while. Here we are at the DeLorean.
We made it.
We made it. One of the things that we do is we air up the car. There are pneumatic knives that lock the car into tracks in the floor that are air controlled. So what we do, first thing that Props does is make sure that we have plenty of air in the car to make sure that those knives can come up and down the way that they are supposed to and don't get stuck. Props, we are in charge of basically all the aesthetics on the car. So anything that looks nice or pretty, we're in charge of. But there's also electrics, because the car lights up. Automation fault is in there too. So it's props, carpentry, and electrics all, and sound. There's speakers in the car as well. When they are ready for the car, we will push the car out.
Well, look, I got to get out of your way. We're out of time, as we like to say. You're a part of this show. You've been so many roles in the industry, but I got to ask you, what does Broadway mean to you?
It's, I mean, this really is kind of the pinnacle of industry. This was where I always wanted to end up working. So the fact that we're here now and have been for the last 10 years has been kind of a dream come true.